Good morning. Let's begin our practice. Happy New Year. We're gonna set some New Year's intentions today. They might be like a little bit different than what you've been hearing all around. So let's take a moment to land in our bodies. Find a comfortable seat, maybe rub your chest or your belly and liven that body a little bit. Let it know that you're here with it for the next hour, hopefully beyond. And then relax your hands down. Begin to notice your breath. Notice any spots that are slower to relax and bring some breath there. Relax your jaw and your eyes. Maybe swallow a couple of times and then bring a new melting sensation in your throat. Maybe do a couple of shoulder rolls, letting them melt down your back. Let your hips be heavy into the earth. Let go of that image you have of a perfect upright yogi and instead just be comfortable. Comfortable in your body, finding a meditative state that is both alert and relaxed, a place you could stay for hours. And bring your awareness to any expectation that the new year brings for you. We're seeing a lot about resolutions, goals. And today we're going to explore a new kind of resolution, one that isn't attached to anything that you do, but is rather attached to just your whole being as you are now in this moment, and then this moment, and then this moment. What if we were to resolve to be free, to be kinder and gentler? If we have a tight grip on things, nothing can unfold. Open your palms up toward the sky. And sense all of the things that can come to you when you let go of how you think they're supposed to be. This resolution to allow. And allowing isn't giving up or doing nothing. Allowing is trusting whatever comes next. So maybe your intention today is to surrender, is to fall back into the arms of the universe. Let it catch you and move you along to what's next. trust, surrender, allow. Let your imagination and the universe's imagination meld into something more beautiful than you ever could have come up with on your own. Unfold your grip. Sense that everything good comes when we are relaxed. And even the distress that is surely to come, you can receive it from a more open, more relaxed posture. Sense that you are not alone, that you are held, that you are connected to a vast, eternal source of love. You can keep your eyes closed as we begin to fall into Ujjayi breath, oceanic breath. This is an inhale through your nose and an exhale through your nose. And on the exhale, you make a slight constriction in your throat, and it sounds like the ocean or, Darth Vader if you're a Star Wars fan. So you inhale. Explore this at your own pace, giving yourself deep inhales and then full, long exhales. If you came down with a holiday sickness and this is difficult and making you cough, just explore long, deep inhales and exhales. Continuing with this Ujjayi breath, but clasping your hands and facing them outward, extending your elbows long, and just continuing this victorious breath here. Letting your shoulders melt down from your ears. letting your grip open outward. On the next inhale, bringing those arms up over your head. And on the exhale, releasing back down to where we began. And just moving through that at your own pace, inhaling up, exhaling down. Bringing your arms out into a cactus. And on your inhale, twisting gently to the left. And on the exhale, back to center. On the inhale, twisting right. And then exhaling back to center. And moving through this. One more each way. Sing your arms down to rest on your knees. And then just simple head turns, inhaling to the left, exhaling to the right. Inhaling to the left. Exhaling to the right. And back to center. And then some head tilts, inhaling to the left, left ear, left shoulder. Exhaling to the right. And again, inhaling to the left. Exhaling right. And then some gentle head turns. So left ear, just a half circle on the inhale to the left. And on the exhale, a half circle to the right. A couple more of these at your own pace with your own breath. And when you feel complete, just coming back to center for a moment of stillness, for a moment of surrender into the present moment. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, however your breath is moving, letting it unfold here. Adjusting the cross of your legs if you'd like. And then coming into some body rolls, inhaling forward and then exhaling and rounding that spine. Maybe continuing your ujjayi breath or finding just long inhales and exhales without that constriction. constriction in the back of your throat innervates your vagus nerve, so it can really help to trigger your body that we are in a place of safety, that it is time to rest. And switching direction. This time on the exhale, finding a humming sound. Turning to center, surrendering to the stillness. Placing the right hand behind you, left arm raising up on an inhale. Feel that spine lengthening and just a really gentle twist as you place that wrist on the outside of your right knee, or gently hold on to that right knee. And then untwist toward the center and walk those hands forward and find just a gentle rounding early in our practice. Chin in toward the chest, gaze going toward your navel. Mm. So fully as you bring that left hand behind you, right arm up toward the sky, spine lengthening and then twisting to the left. And unwinding to center and finding your curl in toward yourself. One vertebra at a time. We'll back up. We're going to move through a little flow, combining some of those movements. So it's going to look like a body roll to the left, a reach up with the left, and a gentle twist, an unwinding, and then a body roll the other way to the right, a reaching up with the right, and a gentle twist. Just moving with your own breath at your own pace. It can be as slow as you'd like. One more each way. Meeting back at the center, maybe finding one more curl forward. And when you feel ready, rolling back up and making your way into a child's pose. Knees wide, big toes together, and then just letting yourself melt forward. Rocking that third eye point, that forehead back and forth on the floor. Bringing your awareness to your hips. Bringing your breath there. And on your next breath, walking your hands off of your mat to the right. So you're getting this side body stretch in the left side body and this slight compression in the right side body. And then just let yourself melt back down to the earth. Noticing anywhere you're holding, seeing if you can unfurl your grip around it with the breath and with the sense of love. Walking hands back towards center. Maybe having your hands wider than you normally would in a child's pose, so your palms are on either side of your mat. And either putting your forehead on the floor, or maybe it's more your chin, bringing some opening to that throat space. And on your next breath, walking off your mat to the left with your hands and melting back down, finding some stillness
some allowance of present moment and whatever arises here. And your next breath, walking back to center. Maybe this time folding your arms in and making a little pillow with your hands to rest your forehead on. Maybe rocking back and forth on that third eye point. And then stretching your left arm out in front of you, fingertips like tented on your mat, like this. And then twisting slightly, right arm overhead. And then just dropping down, tenting that right hand in front of you and twisting left. This can be very subtle. You can even explore that hand behind your head if that feels better. Just finding a twist from this child's pose where our hips are a little bit more restricted. And then melting back down, hands or head on your hands, pillow, and letting that all go. When you're ready, really mindfully and gradually rising up onto your knees, all the way up, and bringing your hands in toward your chest, finding an inhale and an exhale, finding that chest expanding into your hands, and then collapsing behind them. And on your next inhale, twisting and opening those arms to the right. And then exhaling back to center. And we're really twisting from our navel. So find that bandha, that lock, where your navel is pulling in and a little up. Inhaling to the left. Exhaling, center. And again, inhaling to the right. Exhaling, center. Inhaling left. Keep moving through this. When you find yourself center next, just take a moment in stillness, relaxing your arms down. Maybe curling those fingers one at a time into a fist and trying to open them one at a time into an open shape. Arms back to the chest. This time we're going to twist and open. Drop that back hand down to your hamstring or your calf or your heel And then just a gentle back bend. And then coming back up, unwinding to the center. And then the other side, twisting left, dropping that back hand onto your hamstring, and just a gentle back bend. Rising back up and center. Just one more each way like that. Letting your breath dictate your timing. And sitting back on your heels and taking a moment. Meeting me on all fours when you're ready. Maybe just doing a few cat cows if that feels good. Bringing awareness to the way your pelvis is moving, tilting up on the inhale and then tucking down as you round on the exhale. Coming back to neutral and walking your hands about, I don't know, 3 hand lengths in front of you, enough to keep your hips over your ankles and just melt your heart down into heart melting pose. This is a great place to use a bolster or a rolled up beach towel, anything that can elevate the ground. Um, so see how that feels. Maybe after a little length of time, you find you want to remove the prop and explore melting a little further. Maybe bending your elbows if it's a little intense in sensation on your shoulders. Mm. Wherever you are, 3 more deep breaths. Mm. Mm. Slowly rising back up into all fours, tucking your toes, adjusting your hands for your down dog position. Our first down dog of practice, just be really easy. Maybe bending into one knee and then the other. Taking that dog for a leisurely stroll. Spreading all 5 fingers wide and trying to evenly distribute your weight, pressing into that finger mound on the index finger, out on the pinky, down into the palm. Rise up on your tippy toes, bend deeply into your knees, and then bring your heels toward the ground and straighten your legs. Again, up on your tiptoes, bend deeply into your knees, and then bring your heels toward the ground as you straighten into your legs. Again, tiptoes, bend deeply into your knees, heels working their way to the earth as you straighten your legs. One more time, tiptoes, bend your knees, heels toward the earth as you straighten. And now come to stillness and explore shaking your head yes and no, seeing if you can find a release in your neck. And when you're ready, raising your right leg up behind you, bringing that knee in toward the chest, in toward the nose, and then stepping it forward, dropping that back knee. And it's a great place to use props. You can put it so that your left thigh is resting onto that prop. You can also put something underneath your back knee if that's feeling a little juicy. We're going to be here for quite some time, so take your time to make any little micro adjustments to get whatever props you need. You can untuck those back toes so that back leg is really melting into the earth. This front leg, your knee is over your ankle, toes are relaxed. Maybe even try to create some space between all five of those front toes and then relax them down. And you're welcome to stay in a high flying dragon where you're upright like I am, hands resting. Even on the outsides of the bolster can be kind of comfortable because then you can really expand through the chest. I think today this is what's going to be serving me, but you can also explore a low flying dragon if you'd want. So walking your hands down, you can have blocks to raise up the earth. You can even drop onto your elbows if you're feeling that mobile today. You can flip your wrists around and get a little wrist stretch as you're here if that feels good today. You have a couple of options. You can let your knee drop open and be on the pinky edge of that right front foot, or you can bring a little activation and you can press that knee against the arm, arm against the knee, a little co-contraction. So it's really your choice what feels good today. You can drop that head down, let it roll in space. When you find what's serving you today, just commit to being here in our yin position, our yin shape for a couple of minutes in stillness. Of course, if this shape isn't serving you at all today, you're welcome to come down into deer pose, which is just when our front leg is down on the ground, almost in pigeon, then that back leg bends in too. We do deer quite often here. So you're on your bum with bent legs if this is just a little too much activation today. One of my favorite things about yin yoga is that we say stillness. It's one of the main principles of the practice, but it's really just seeming stillness because there is always the breath moving through us, so much life inside of us, so much our heart is saying to us. And when we can come into this seeming stillness, this external stillness,
what I found is that it allows the heart to really come through so I can hear what it's telling me. Inhale deep into your belly for a count of 6. And exhale fully for a count of 6. These deep, full, long breaths communicate to our fascia that it can let go, that it is safe to melt, that it doesn't have to continue to be engaged. And that's why we hold for a length of time. When you're ready, we're just gonna unfurl out of this. You can come into a little half split where you straighten that front leg, maybe flex into that front foot. Give this back leg maybe a little rub, a little love, removing any props, bringing front leg back to meet the back leg, bringing your hands forward and pressing into your downward facing dog. Walking your feet out as wide as your mat, making sure you have a strong hasta bandha, meaning all 5 fingers are spread, your weight is distributed evenly, raising up onto the tips of those left fingers so there's just a little less weight on them. And then twisting your body to the left, looking under that armpit. And returning center, placing that hand flat again, coming up onto the tips of your right, and then twisting your body, looking out under that right arm. And then relaxing those fingers back down, back to neutral. Keeping those legs wide, coming up on those tiptoes, bending deeply into those knees, bringing those heels to the earth as you straighten the legs. And again, tiptoe, bend, melt those heels, straighten those legs. Just a couple more on your own. Walking those feet back in, raising that left leg up behind you,
tucking that knee, rounding that back, bringing that left foot forward, grabbing any props and melting down into your high flying or low flying dragon. Taking some time here to really find your shape and really honoring that it may be different on this side, and that's totally okay. We are not linear. None of this journey is linear. Feeling free to come down either on the outside or the inside, maybe flipping those hands and getting that bit of a wrist stretch. Maybe dropping that head down, exploring any other props under your hands or your elbows. You could even bring your hand, two fists, and rest your forehead on it, or a stack of books, or anything. And when you find your shape, coming into this seeming stillness and seeing what you hear. It might be a layer deeper than you think because your heart does not communicate judgment or blame. So hear those things, let them come if they're coming, and then dive deeper inward. Can you hear the rushing love? 3 more full breaths deep into your belly. Ready, just stretching back into that half split, that front leg straight, removing any bolsters, props, bringing that front leg back to meet the back, and then coming into our last downward facing dog of practice. Letting that head be heavy, pressing against the floor with those hands, raising up on your tiptoes and bringing both heels over to the left side of your mat. Just feeling that stretch, that change. On your tiptoes and heels to the right. One more time each way, tiptoe and heels to the left. And to the right. And meeting back in neutral. Option to place your knees to the earth or come forward into plank pose and slowly lower down onto your belly. Once on your belly, let your hands be free, palms up toward the sky. And we're just going to do some somatic rocking of the hips side to side. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes. Slacken that lower body and let your legs move with the hips, your feet move with the legs. Let the tops of your shoulders melt into the earth. If you are unable to do this pose, maybe you have a little baby, maybe you're growing a little baby, turn onto your back and do some somatic rocking on your back. And really use your heels to help rock you on your back by pointing your toes and then flexing them. Or you could be in fetal position, rocking. Wherever you are, just self-soothing. Mm. And whenever you're ready, coming into stillness. Meeting whatever arises with tenderness. And just really gently, at your own pace, meeting me on your back. You can either be on your bolster or flat on the floor. You can even do a couple bolsters. I'm going to stack mine a little bit higher. And when you get there, planting both feet on the earth, walking your feet out as wide as your mat, bringing your right heel toward your right hip, so just in toward your bum a little bit, and then dropping that knee toward the earth.
It may not get there. That's okay. Keeping your pelvis really heavy, staying grounded through the pelvis. Maybe putting a prop underneath that right knee, or maybe you want to grab that right ankle and sort of bring it back more, flipping the top of the foot toward the earth and bringing that knee more straight and out on the ground into a saddle pose. Or maybe you get there and you realize that it was serving you more to be in just that simple internal rotation. But wherever you are, wherever you choose to be, letting yourself be held, letting your palms be open to receiving, loosening the grip, surrendering to the beauty that's sure to come if we let go of the chokehold. Let the universe sing. Maybe you want to extend that left leg out long in front of you. We're here for just a couple more breaths. And at your own pace, in your own way, unwinding, maybe knocking your knees together. And when you're ready, feet as wide as your mat, bringing that left heel toward the left hip and dropping that knee down. And your left foot can come up off the ground. Your right foot is planted, but your left foot is sort of rolling in toward your big toe side. So you can really allow that. And you're welcome to stay here or to explore gently influencing that left foot toward the earth, pulling it back closer to your hips. Maybe even explore straightening out that front leg. And wherever you are, relax. Breathe into your heart space. Mm. Mm. And slowly unwind. We're going to come into our Shavasana, and it's yogi's choice today. Can knock your knees together
and rest here. You can find a wall and put your legs up the wall. You can just lay flat on your back or in a belly down Shavasana. Wherever you feel the most at ease, like you could just drift off into sleep. I'm so grateful for this community of women who are letting go of control and letting good things happen to them. Every moment is a chance to stop and breathe, to pause in awe of the beauty around us. To uncurl our grip so that things can grow. New Year's resolution to surrender. I'm going to leave you here in your Shavasana. I hope you can make it last as long as you'd like. And when you come out of it, come out slowly and wisely. The light in me recognizes and loves the light in you. Namaste.